PCD, PCD, PCDcast.
Welcome to PCDcast. In this new podcast, we're going to be bringing you the latest trends from marketing and business development. We'll be giving you ideas on how you can grow your business and really get results in 2024. As we launch PCDcast, I'm going to be speaking to various members of the team to give our community that bit of insight as to what goes on here at PCD Towers. Now, events are still a core part of our business, and I'm going to be speaking now to our events manager, Karen Brazier, about what we've got in store in 2024. So, Karen, it's January. We're looking at the calendar on the year ahead. You've been putting in a lot of work trying to get venues together.
Yeah.
What have you been up to?
So I have been looking at a fair chunk of places in the last 6 months-ish. I tend to try and change them up in London. That's an easy change up because I can go and visit. Over in Middle East, a little bit harder for me to go visit. So the first one we're going to is going to be 116 Pall Mall. This is a Grade 1 listed building. It's currently the home of the Institute of Directors and is just off the Pall Mall. It is Georgian architecture, and you can see Edward VII statue and the Duke of York column. Now inside, which was really cool when I went to have a look around, as you go up the staircase, you can see the pictures of the Battle of Trafalgar and Waterloo, and you've also got pictures of Lord Nelson and Duke of Wellington.
So it's a big grand venue, high ceilings, big windows.
Very much, very much. And they use it a lot for films and TV. They filmed some of Gandhi inside the room that we're actually going to be having dinner. And then most recently, they've used one of the rooms for You, which is a Netflix phenomenon.
And it can seat up to 250 guests, so it's a big room.
It's a big, long room, so it's not going to be tight and cosy. There's going to be a lot of space for people to obviously sit with their people, mingle as well, and really make the most of the first event of the year.
Fantastic. And are there any venues that sort of stand out when we're looking at the calendar in total? What are you thinking about? What's exciting?
So the Swiss double header that we'll be doing later in the year, which is in September, we'll be going to 2 venues we've been before, but we'll be going to them within the same week. I went to Geneva last year. No, I didn't. I went to Zurich last year and got to see the Zuntal of Meissen, which is just off the river, which is stunning. We had a gorgeous day for it. And we'll be going to Beau Rivage, which is in Geneva, which people can go back to back. The 2 events, they can go to a singular event, but I'm excited for those 2.
Fantastic. And what sort of things are going to be on the menu in the Swiss events? Do we know yet?
We don't know yet. If we're going off what we had last year, I remember a really good veal dish, I believe was the main course in Zurich. You all were in the main room, and then we had a little green room on the side, and they kept trying to feed us a lot of wine.
Well, the Swiss chocolate as well also,
yes.
And the desserts that you have generally at these dinners in Switzerland is very, very nice.
Yeah, I mean, I had fruit because I'm gluten-free, so it wasn't as exciting for me. But the dessert itself looked lovely. Yeah.
So we've got a good run in the summertime, going to the Isle of Man and Channel Islands. Yeah. We are going to go to the Comis Hotel in May.
Yes.
It was your first trip to the Isle of Man last year. What did you make of the place?
It's an interesting place. They had just finished the TT, so I think everything was still recovering.
It's peak excitement.
It was peak excitement, and it had just been really, really hot. So everyone was lovely and tanned. It was so green out there. It was really good to see the Comis. We've been going to Woodburn House for the last few years. So to get a venue that has everything you need in one place, I think is the logical next step for us. It's a much bigger venue, can hold 250. Meanwhile, Woodburn House is a little bit smaller. Everything you need is there. There's Moët and Chandon Bar. You've got restaurants, a golf course if you're into your golf, so people could potentially go there a little bit before or stay a little bit after.
It's going to be easy for people to meet there, isn't
It's
it? And gather
easy
and do breakout meetings and
exactly.
things like that.
It's in between the airport and Douglas as well. It's kind of that right in the middle, and is surrounded by lots of lovely countryside, which is really nice when it's really nice.
Fantastic. And in June, we're going to be back in Jersey. It's a favourite event of PCD Club. Been going there for years. We've been in recent years at L'Horizon. What's L'Horizon like? The position of it? What's good about L'Horizon?
So it is a little bit away, obviously, from the capital, but it's very, very close to the airport. I believe it's like 5-10 minutes from the airport. I was shocked how quickly we got to the hotel last year.
Good for visitors, for sure.
Very good for visitors. It's got a spa there, treatment rooms if you want to have a relax. And then, of course, it's right on St. Brelard's Bay.
And we went for a lovely meal at the Oyster Box the night before.
We did.
Which is like you walk along a little promenade in St. Brelard's.
Yeah.
There's something quite unique about it, isn't it?
Yeah, no, definitely. Everything that's completely on the shorefront, but also really tucked away. I think there's like a crab shack next to it. So I wasn't expecting it. And the food was astounding. For me, they had a completely gluten-free menu, just literally gave it to me and had a breakdown of everything, which is a rarity. The attention to detail was phenomenal. The wine was on point. And no, it's anyone who is going there for the first time or has maybe been a lot and is staying in the surrounding area would definitely recommend the Oyster Box.
And post-summer, we're going to be at the OGH in Guernsey, Old Government House.
Yeah.
Again, you've been there now a couple of times. What would you say about the OGH?
So it's the only 5-star hotel on the island, which I didn't know until today. The way that we're looked after at the OGH is a standard that you don't really get everywhere. They really do look after you. Andrew and the team there and Melanie on the event side are just absolutely fantastic. Anything that we want, they'll literally get within a heartbeat. The food is amazing. The view itself.
The ballroom itself is quite spectacular.
Is just breathtaking. You've got chandeliers running across. You've got that sea view. And they've got a really, really nice outside garden space that we did the drinks reception last year. And it was just when the sunset was going down, it was spectacular. And it's a very, very popular event. It really is. And people like coming there. They know the venue, they know the space, and I think it works really well for people. So we are heading over to Dubai in November. Do you want to tell us a bit more about that?
Sure, yeah. I mean, I love going to Dubai. Been going there now for the last 10 years. You've got some fantastic hotels. And generally the flight is it's a doable, for long haul, it's very doable. You don't have much jet lag. It's, and
it's not that much of a time difference.
No. So it's for the distance you're traveling, it's a good business trip for sure.
Do you have a certain thing that you have on a long haul flight that you'll watch, or you'll mentally prepare yourself, take shoes off? Are you a take a sock off person?
No, I have respect for other passengers, so I wouldn't take my socks off. But no, I mean, I love flying Emirates to Dubai, and I remember the first time I flew business class there was like, wow, this is very different.
Yeah.
Just a fantastic experience. Yeah, I like putting the old flight socks on. If I'm flying a bit further, pop a paracetamol as well and all that. So there's a routine there.
Yeah.
I've got my little flight socks in a bag that always comes with me. And then I seem to have this habit of watching a bit of Family Guy on Emirates flights, which is always available, and then I'm stifling a little snigger or giggle to myself while that's watching, making the flight go by.
I guess if you're in business, you don't need to worry that much about children being around and them seeing what you're watching.
Fortunately, I can watch that in peace with a nice glass of white wine. Just to sketch a picture of Park Hyatt Dubai, it's on the airport side of Dubai.
Yeah.
It's still proximate to DIFC in the downtown. It's 15 minutes in a cab, but it's super convenient for those coming in from out of town. It's a low-rise development, so it's not one of the big skyscrapers. It's spread out in grounds. You sweep in the car up the driveway, and they've got palm trees. They've got a massive golf resort there. It's very green, which obviously, effectively in the desert, takes a lot of effort and upkeep. The ground
That's probably
team
a lot
there,
of watering.
Yeah, a lot of watering, but it looks phenomenal.
Yeah.
You hear the birds in the trees as you sweep up the drive because it is such a green and verdant setup. The hotel itself is palatial. The conference centre, which has its own entrance where guests will arrive, has its own door off the lobby, and you're instantly into the event environment, which is chilled down, which in Dubai is always appreciated. And we'll have a fantastic reception space there and seated dinner for over 200 guests. So it's a really big event. But the Dubai Park Hyatt just really, ticks all the boxes for us.
And have you been there with the family? Have you just been there on business?
Yeah, I mean, I've been to Dubai a few times with the family. We've not stayed at the Park Hyatt, but we stayed at Atlantis. We stayed at different resorts, and it's a fantastic place.
Yeah.
For the kids as well. All
Atlantis
the water
is the
amazing.
water park, isn't it?
Yeah. So no, it's a great place for a break as well. And like November, when we're there, it's the week after half term. A lot of people are trying to combine holidays in the half term also with some business. So yeah, Dubai's a cracking place for that. And of course, we can't forget about the Next Gens, who we're going to be doing 3 events for the Next Gens through the course of the year, 2 sit-down lunches and a fun summer party. What have we got in store for the summer party?
So we're going to be heading to Bounce. We're going to go to the first original location, which is in Farringdon, and that's located at the same site where the game of ping pong was first created and patented in 1901. I went there. Yeah, I know. I feel like ping pong's probably been around for a lot longer than 1901, but that feels like a really long time ago.
It was where it was created?
Yeah.
That seems insane.
I know. I don't know how he would have created that. I don't know how people mentally come up with...
But it's going to bring the competitive instinct out, isn't it?
Definitely. If people got competitive last year, which from the time I was there, they were getting quite competitive, they'll probably get very competitive, and I'm sure there'll be a fair few balls flying about, so people might need to watch their heads. But no, there'll be a games master who'll be running the whole evening. A lot of drinks, got a private bar, food going on, and lots of games and some fun. Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed the conversation. Subscribe wherever you get your podcast to make sure you don't miss the next time on PCDcast.